Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. Today's video will be on a Small Neighbours Sudoku variant created by Richard Stolk. Richard is one of the most prolific Sudoku authors and he has also contributed to World Sudoku Championships. He continuously produces innovative Sudoku variants and his design is always very good and interesting to solve. If you want to try this Sudoku out yourself, please check the solving link given in the description of the video. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please check out the videos that we have posted earlier and do subscribe to the channel. The rules are: each row, column and box will contain the digits from 1 to 9. A digit in a grey cell is larger than all its horizontal and vertical neighboring digits. All grey cells are given. Okay, so for example, let us take this grey cell. So there are many such grey cells in the grid. This grey cell will be greater than all these 4 orthogonal neighboring digits. There are 4 neighboring digits, right? Row 6, column 7, row 8, column 7, row 7, column 6 and row 7, column 8. This grey cell will be greater than all these neighboring digits. And the rules also state that the negative constraint is there. That is, all grey cells are given. So for example, you cannot have something like this. Let me show you. So you cannot have something like this maybe. So in this case, if you look at row 5, column 6, it is not shaded grey, right? So which means that it cannot have all 4 neighboring digits less than the digit in the central. So which means that this scenario cannot happen, right? Because all possible shaded cells are given in the grid. So which means that you cannot have something like this in the grid. So we have to watch out for these kind of tricks too. So the main starting trick in the Sudoku is that we know that 9 will always be greater than its neighboring digits. There is no way possible that there will be a digit greater than 9 in the grid. So which means that all the 9s in the grid has to go in the grey cells. So if you look at box 4, we immediately get a 9 in the grid. So this will be a 9. And if you look at box 5, 9 must be in one of these cells, because 9 cannot be in any of the white cells, right? Because 9 will be greater than all its 4 neighboring digits, so 9 cannot be in a white cell. So similarly, doing that for all the boxes. So in this Sudoku, this is one of the main starting tricks to the Sudoku. So the next thing is to look for larger digits which are already given and which have a grey cell near them. So in this case, if you look at this 7, we know that the grey cell has to be greater than its neighboring digits. So this cell would have to be 8 or 9. Similarly, this would have to be 8, 9. And for this 7, this would be 8, 9. And for this 6, 7, this 7, this would be 8, 9. And for this 6, this would have to be 7, 8, 9. But you have a 7 here, so this would be 8, 9. So we have a pair here, so which means this is not a 9. And one more thing is that 1 can never be in a grey cell, right? A small thing to observe. So let us look at this box 4, 5. So all these two cells must be 6, 7, 8, 9. You have a 7 here. So this would be a 6, 8, 9. A 6, 8 and 9. And this would be 6, 7, 8 and 9, right? Okay. So which means that 2 in this box would have to go in one of these 2 cells, right? And now you get the 2 in row 8 using Classic. There is a 2 here and 2 here, that gives the 2 here. And now you can't have the 2 here, because then you'll need at least 2 digits lower than itself, and 2 cannot be in row 4. So due to Classic, you'll get the 2 here, and continuing on with the 2s, 2 will go in one of these 2 cells. And 2 in box 3 has only 1 cell left. 2 would have to go here, cannot go here. And 2 will be in one of these 2 cells, but 2 is in column 2, so 2 has to go here. So I think we have got all the 2s now in the grid. This is a very fun to solve variant, guys, as much as I've understood. So 2, 3, 7, 8 and 9. So remaining must be 1, 4, 5 and 6, but 5 is in row 4. So which means that 5 must go in one of these cells. So 5 is in row 7, sorry. So 5 must go in one of these 2 cells. So these two cells must be 1, 4 and 6. So 1, if you look in box 1, has only two options, either row 1 column 2 or row 3 column 3. One can go only in these two cells, one cannot be here and one cannot be in a grey cell. And we know that this cell is greater than this cell, so we have placed 2, 6, 7, 8 and 9, so remaining must be 1, 3, 4 and 5. So this cell must be minimum 3, this would be 3, 4, 5 and this would be a 1, 3, 4, right, so that this is greater than that. And using classic 7 must be in one of these two cells. If I have a 7 here, then this must be 8 or 9, right? Okay, nothing much there. So remember I said at the start that we also need to be on the watch for cells which have 3 neighboring digits smaller than itself, so that the fourth cell has to be greater than the cell, so that the rule is satisfied, right? Because all grey cells have been marked. So 7 is going in one of these cells. Okay, we have a 9 here, right? We could have done away with this deduction at the start itself. This 9 immediately gives an 8 here, right? This would be 8, this would be 9, this would be 9. So 9s all immediately come in the grid, right? So this is not a 9. So 9 is in one of these cells, so 9 would go here. So this would be 8, this would be 9, and because of this, we can remove the 9s from box 7, and that gives the 9 in box 9. Right, so that will be a 9 here and that will be a 9 here. So quickly we have got the 9s through this 9. So all these 9s may be removed from the grid. Okay, so now that we have got all the 9s, guys, it is important to shift the attention to the next highest digit in the grid, that is 8. Now we have to be looking for cells such that 8 is in a white cell and 8 is greater than 3 of its cells and the fourth cell is near a 9, something like that. So basically what I am trying to say is that always be on the lookout for cells which are white and which have 3 neighboring cells lower than itself and the fourth cell should be greater. So these kind of Sudokus will have that trick commonly. So you have a classic here, so this would be a 2. So all the 2s have been placed, right? Yeah. All the 9s have been placed. So let us look for the 8s now. So 8 cannot go here. 8 cannot be in this cell because that would mean 9 must be here, which means that 8 has 2 options. So the situation which I told happens precisely here. So you cannot have an 8 here, right? Because if you have an 8 here, then this cell must be greater than this cell, so that the grey cell rule is valid. So for example, if you have 8 here, so now you will have some digit here which is less than 8, let's say 7. Now this must be a grey cell, right? Because all these 3 cells are lower than 8, but this is not a grey cell, which means that 8 cannot be going here. So this would have to be 8. This would have to be 8, and 8 must be in these 2 cells because of classic, but 8 cannot go here because then this would be a 9, which means that this would be 8, and 8 must be in 2 cells. 8 cannot be going in this cell because no 9 there, so this must be 8. So you will see that immediately after placing 9s we are able to get the 8s also very smoothly. So 8 cannot go here, 8 cannot go here, so 8 is in 3 cells. But 8 cannot be in row 6 column 1 because that would mean this is a 9. So 8 is in this cell or this cell, and both are adjacent to a 9, so no problem. So let us look at this column. Maybe 8 is not here and 8 cannot be in this cell, right? Because none of these 4 cells can take a 9. So 8 can be in this cell, can be in this cell or this cell. And this cell is also quickly rolled out because 9 cannot go here. So which means that 8 has 2 options left, but 8 cannot go here because this cell, grey cell, would be greater than this cell. So 8 is not here, which means 8 would have to go here, and 8 is in these 2 cells. Let me put a corner pencil mark. Okay. So 8 is eliminated from here due to classic. We get the 8 here. This is not an 8. Okay, so 8 is in these 3 cells, classic. 8 cannot be in the white cell. So 8 is going here or here, and 8 is going here or here. Okay, so the last two 8s I think will get resolved a little later. Okay, let me come to this cell. So the next thing is you can either try to go on with the flow of the Sudoku, or you can just go and see where the 7s may be placed in the grid. But in this particular case, we haven't placed two 8s, 8, right? So we'll go on with the flow of the Sudoku. So for example, if you look at this box, there are 4 digits empty, and out of which one is a gray cell, and it has to be greater than at least 2 cells. So which means that this must be 6 or 7. Right, it cannot be 4 or 5 because then you will have a violation. So this must be 4 5 6 4 5 6, and this must be a 4 5 6 because 7 is not here. So which means this must be a 7. 7 has only one cell in the grid, and 7 must be in these two cells. And now we have a beautiful oh wait, not a beautiful deduction actually, because I was thinking 7 may be eliminated from one of these cells. Okay, so we can get one more 7 in the grid, classic. So 7 goes here, and with that we get the 8s in the grid. So 8 goes here, classic, and 8 goes here, right? So I think we can place all these 7s in the grid now. 7 cannot be here, 7 cannot be here, 7 will be in these 3 cells, but 7 cannot be adjacent to a gray cell now because both 8 and 9 are placed. So 7 is either in this cell or this cell. This is adjacent to a gray cell, so no problem. Okay, and 7 in box 5 will be in these 5 cells, but 7 cannot be here. Okay, so 7 cannot be here, right? Because then all these white cells will be less than 7, and we cannot have that situation. So 7 cannot be here. Can I have a 7 here? So none of these cells can take an 8 and 9. So 7 cannot be here. So 7 will be in these two cells only, right? And now if you look at row 5, there is only one cell left for the 7. 7 cannot be in these 3 cells. 7 cannot be in these 3 cells. So only this cell can take a 7. So this is a 7. And now 6 has only 2 options in box 4. So these two cells must be 3, 4, 5. You have a 4 here. So this is 3 and 5. And let us look at box 1. This is a 3, 4, 5. And this is a 1, 4, 5, right? Because of the 3 here. Let us look at column 5. 2, 9, 4, 8, 3, 7, right? So remaining must be 1, 5, 6. This must be a 1, 5, 6. And this must be a 1, 5 and a 6. Can we resolve the 7s, guys? Can the 7 go here? Yes, 7 can be here, 7 can be here. Okay, nothing much can be said. But column 7 is almost filled. 4, 7, 8, 1, 2, 9. So these must be 3, 5 and 6. And these must be 1, 4, 7, right? Yes. So 1 cannot be here. So this is not a 1. So this is 4 and 7. So which means that this cell must be a 6 now, classic. So these two cells must be 4, 5. And these 3 cells must be 1, 3, 6, right? But we know that the gray cell is greater, so this cannot be a 1 and this cannot be a 6. This must be 1 and 3. So if you look at column 9, we have a very cute deduction, guys. So this cell cannot be a 5, right? Because if I have a 5 here, this becomes 4, and now you see that all these 3 cells are suddenly quicker than this, smaller than this cell, right? So we cannot have that because then this must be a gray cell, but this is not a gray cell. So which means 5 cannot go here. So this is a 4 now, and this is a 5. And you have a 3 here, so this is not a 3, this is 1 and 6. And this 4 removes the 4 from here, this is 1 and 5, and this must be 1, 5, 6. Let us look at row 2. 5 is already placed, so 5 cannot be here, and these two cells must be 3, 4, 7. Okay, you have a 7 here, right? So this is not a 7. 2, 4, 8, 7 and 9. So this must be 1, 3, 5 and 6. Okay, too many possibilities. Let us look at column 1, guys, because this gray cell seems interesting. 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. So this must be 3, 4, 5, 6. But for that column, 3 is the lowest digit. So this cannot be a 3. So this is 4, 5, 6. This is 3, 4, 5. Right? I was hoping here that the 6 would start helping us, but the 6 is not really helping us because this cell can also be a 3. So if this is a 6, then this becomes 7 and all these cells will be 1, 3, 5. Okay, no problem there. Okay, so in box 7, 6 has only 2 options, right? 6 cannot be here and 6 cannot be adjacent to a gray cell because 7, 8, 9 are placed. So 6 has only 2 cells in box 7. This would have to be greater than all these 4 cells. Okay, so this can still be a 4 and this can be a 3. There is no problem in that. Okay, let me look at row 5 again. 2, 4, 8, 7 and 9. So let us write the candidates there because the Sudoku seems to have become a little bit sticky now. 2, 4, 9, 7 and 8. So this must be 1, 3, 5 and 6. So all possible digits can come there. Okay. So let us look at this cell. So this would be 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So are there any white cells which are greater than 3 of their cells? 3 of the surrounding cells. Can I have a 6 here? If this is a 6, okay, this is adjacent to a gray cell, so not much help. So can this be a 6? If this is a 6, then these cells, okay, this would become a 7 for sure. 6, 7, 1, 3 and 5. This is 6, 7. Okay, not much help. This gray cell, okay, is done, right? Both of these are lower. This cell we haven't yet visited. 2, 4, 8 and 9. So this would be minimum 3, right? 3, 5, 6 and 7. So let me write the possibilities there. So this would be 3, 5, 6 and 7. So 6 is in one of these cells. These two cells must be 1, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Can I have the 6 here? Yeah, this is next to a 7 and this lower, so not a problem. These two cells must be 1, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Am I missing something very simple here? Okay, a really sharp deduction here, guys. So look at row 5, column 7. So if you look at this cell, this cannot be a 6 because if this cell is a 6, then I must have at least 7, 8 or 9 in these 4 cells, but you'll see that this cell cannot be a 7, 8, 9, this cell cannot be a 7, 8, 9 and these two cells are also not 7, 8, 9. So which means that this cell is not a 6, a very sharp and tough deduction, and that's why I think the Sudoku was given a 4-star difficulty rating. So which means that this is not a 6. So this would be a 3, 5 and now we have a 3, 5 pair and that gives a 6. Superb, guys, superb. A really beautiful deduction. So which means that Oh, we could have placed this digit too, because this was 4 7, so this is a 1, and which means this will be a 4 and 7, and that would have slightly helped in finding this reduction maybe. So because we got the 6 here and we need a digit which is greater than 6 adjacent to it, because it's in a white cell, so 7 must be in these two cells, but 7 has only two options, so this would be a 7, which means this is a 7, this is a 4, and 7 gives a 7 here. Can we place all these 7s? Yeah, all these 7s have been placed. This 4 gives a removes the 4 from here, so 3 5 3 5 pair, so this is a 1, and there is a 4 going here for the column, so these two cells must be 4 6, right? But 4 is in row 4, so this is a 6, this is a 4, no 4 here, no 1 here, so 3 4 pair, which means this is a 5, and the remaining digits are 6 and 3, so we can quickly place them. 6 3 and 1 5, this must be a 1 5 pair, and this 3 gives a 1 here, a 6 here, a 3 here, this one gives the 5 here and a 1 here, and 1 5 gives a 6 here. These two cells must be 1 4, and 6 is removed from these cells, 1 is here, so this is a 5, this is a 1, this is a 6, so 7, okay, 7 may be removed, 1 2 4 6 7 8 9, so these two cells must be 3 5, and this must be a 6 now, so this would be a 3 5. So the one deduction that we kind of missed a little bit was removing the 6 from this cell, slightly difficult one to see. So okay, so let us continue the Sudoku. 2 3 6 8 7 and 9, so this would be a 5, which means this would be a 5, this would be a 3, and we know that the 3 has to be greater than this cell because it's in a gray cell, so this is 1, this is 4, that gives a 3, a 4, a 3, and this must be 1 and 4, but 1 is here, so this is 1, and this is a 4. So we are yet to resolve these two cells. In a normal Sudoku, this would have become a forbidden triangle or a unique triangle, but here this is a variant, right? So if you look at this 4, it has to be greater than this cell because it's in a gray cell, so which means this is 3, this is 5, this is 5, and this is 3, and with that we have completed this very interesting and fun to solve Sudoku Small Neighbours. Hope you guys enjoyed watching me solve this Sudoku. I really enjoyed solving this Sudoku. It was a very fun variant to solve. So please comment under the video, like and share the video with your friends who may be interested in Sudokus. We hope to see you soon with the video. Take care until then. Bye bye.